it's a really interesting turn of events. So over the course of the last 30 plus years, I've earned over $16 million. I've built huge teams all around the globe. I traveled over 6 million miles. I helped a lot of people in a lot of countries, get back to, living the life that they deserved. And then I was kind of semi-retired for a few years and traveling around the country doing consulting. And then I found myself the fattest I had ever been in my life. May of 2018, I got a call from a dear friend of mine. And well, the rest of it, I'll tell you in just a little bit. But, over the course of the next few minutes, I want to show you how you can stop living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, that is, I think it's a crime that here in this land of opportunity that we have so many people living paycheck to paycheck. And I really blame that on our educational system. We were taught to get a job, right? We weren't taught anything about money. We were taught to get a job. I'm going to teach you how you can create a residual income that what you can get paid whether you work or not. Now, that's one of the things when they said that to me, earn money even while you're sleeping. I said, oh yeah. I said, I'd like to learn that, right? How you can become your own boss. Now, being your own boss is not everything it's cut out to be, right? You might think, oh, you get to sit around. You work harder for yourself than you do for somebody else. Let me just tell you that. If you want a way out of debt, we can do that. If you want to live a dream life, whatever that dream life is, we can do that. You can have all the free time you want. We can do that after you pay the price. I'm going to give you a plan. One of the things that we just listened to Les Brown talk about was one of the most important things is to have a plan, right? And to put your priorities in place. I'm going to give you a plan that will take you into the top 1% of the income earners in the country. The potential. So the rest of it's up to you. So, here's something that a lot of people talk about, and it's kind of misunderstood, right? I'd rather have 1% off of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own efforts. So let me stop right there. If your income is dependent upon 100% of your own efforts, you're doing the wrong thing. That again goes back to education. They taught us that all of our income should be produced by us, and then, other people found another way. I ran into somebody a long time ago, and he taught me the concept of, building teams, right? And I built it. He said, build a team of 10, and you can build a team of unimaginable numbers, right? So you build a team of 10 and you help those people build a team of 10. So it's very, very simple. Again, a number that we're all familiar with. I build a team of 10, they build a team of 10, I've got 100. They build a team of 10, I've got 1,000. They build a team of 10, I've got 10,000. They build a team of 10, I've got 100,000. Now you've got 100,000 people. You'd rather have 1% of 100,000 people's efforts than 100% of your own efforts. And that's what I'm talking about, having all the free time that you want. Right now, we've got all the free time that we want, and I'm sick of it. This pandemic, I've been in this industry through lots of ups and downs, but never, if I was in one where we had a pandemic, I didn't realize it, right? But, it certainly wasn't ever like this. I mean, millions of people at home out of work. I was looking today at the thousands of restaurants that are going to close. I mean, chain restaurants that are being impacted. I mean, some of the ones that you never would think that they'd ever be closing stores are going to be closing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stores. And, people are worried to death. There's only 37% of us that have a home-based business, but that's a good number. It should be 100%, but millions of people are affected and they're looking for a solution. So, right now is our time, right? Right now is we should be spreading the word, and that's exactly what I try to do every week, is try to bring people into, you know, what it is, what a home-based business is all about, how they can earn money from home with everything that they already have. They got a computer, they got a cell phone, they got all this movement, a wave that is going to, you know, become bigger and bigger and bigger as time goes on, because, you know, people are scared to death that it'll happen to them again. So there's going to be lots of opportunities to talk to lots of people. So getting in front of this movement is really, really important. So the pandemic has been a perfect storm, and, you know, unprecedented growth. I mean, here's what Forbes had to say prior to the pandemic, that 79 million people were going to start a home-based business over the next 5 years, right? We thought that that was awesome, right? The great news. I mean, I never got that kind of news back in 1987 when I got started in the industry. Most people, held up their held up a cross and said, go away. But not these days. I mean, it's all evolved. Everything has evolved, right? So I thought that that was grand news, and then the pandemic happened, and it's going to be a tsunami, right? I mean, we were going to see double that number, triple that number, quadruple that number. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be a lot. Over the next 3 to 5 years, it's going to be a massive amount of people. So, for the last 30 years, I've been talking about this, and, I tell people don't plan to fail. They just fail to plan, right? They just don't have a plan. They just, whatever kind of comes along. And if you don't have a plan B, something like this could happen. You could go into your job one day and they go, I'm sorry, we've decided to downsize. We're going to get rid of you and hire 2 people that'll work, for a fraction of what you're working for and still save money. And you're out of here. No loyalty, no nothing, right? And that happens all the time. That's what life is, right? You might go to the doctor and the doctor says, hey, I got some bad news for you. Get your stuff in order, right? Happens all the time. And, so what's your plan B? If you don't have one, I would get back to the person that invited you to take a look at this information and sit down with them and start to talk about a plan B. Here's the next one, right? I never had that on my radar at all. Pandemic was never one of those things that I talked about. And it's not funny. It's just that it's not the first pandemic. It won't be the last pandemic, right? So will it get easier next time? Probably not, right? More people, right? More people. So, be prepared. You've got to be prepared for anything. I told you in May, I was the fattest. May of 2018, I was the fattest I had ever been. I got a call from my good friend, Smiling Dave Jordan, up in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Dave and I have known each other for about 8 years. He started a network marketing company called Valentus in 2014. And I said, Dave, that's good for you. Congratulations. Go have a good time. And I have no interest in it whatsoever. And so I did what I was, supposed to do, right, at the time. And like I said, I went from the weight that I was at to, which I was already fat, to 215 and a 40-inch waist. And I was looking for a solution to lose some weight. And then Dave calls me, right? And he says, hey, man, we got this incredible weight loss coffee. You're not going to believe it. People are drinking this stuff and losing weight like crazy. I said, well, that all sounds good, Dave. I still have no interest in building a team of anything, but I would try some of that coffee. Probably won't work for me, but I'll give it a shot anyway. So I did. A week later, I got it. I started drinking 2 cups of coffee every morning like I've always done. And lo and behold, something started happening, right? I had more energy. I had no appetite. I didn't have the cravings to eat the junk food that I had been previously eating. I started eating all kinds of other things that were kind of weird to my diet, right? And all of a sudden I got on a scale. I dropped 9 pounds. The first week, right? 9 pounds. That got me to pay attention. I started paying attention, looking at the scale every day then, right? Weighing myself. And I saw it, and I actually started seeing a waist you know, my pants started to fit and all of those things. And the fat started melting off. And, you know, it's now been 2 years. I went to 175 from 215, so 40 pounds. I went from a 40-inch waist to a 32. The 32s now are a tad snug. They're a little tad snug now that I've been in this pandemic, but, you know, about a 33. But, you know, what I did after I lost that 18 pounds is I jumped on an airplane, flew up to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, because I had to see for myself this company called Valentus, and I had to go hang out with Dave. So I did for a couple of days. And, you know, I was hoping I was going to find a company in total disarray so that I could get back on an airplane and resolve the fact that, yeah, I was right. You know, I don't want to build another team and go on about my business. But what I found walking through that door right there was a company that had all their ducks in a row, if you will. And it was reminiscent of 3 other companies that I had been part of that I caught at the right time. And each and every one of those companies, I made millions of dollars. So I started reminiscing and I said, you know, this stuff works. Everybody's fat. Everybody drinks coffee. They got a lot of other great products. The comp plan is awesome. The company is awesome. Dave's got everything under control. He's a workaholic, right? Him and his wife, Joyce, have no children. This is their legacy that they want to leave the world. And I said, you know what, Dave, I think I'm going to do this. So I caved in, and that will be 2 years to the day, 2 days from now, right? So I'm glad that I did, because here's what happened. You know, the next year, 2019, sales were up 525%. Now, I'm not going to take credit for all of that. I'll take credit for my share of that. But, you know, I believe that documentation beats conversation. And I always like to put in here, you know, people say, well, is there anybody making any money? Yes, there are, right? John Herenza has gone from where he was, which was a okay income, to, you know, 500,000 a month. That's a great income, right? That's an awesome income. That's one of those obscene incomes, right? And, you know, my buddy Rick, you know, $5,000 a day. And I'll tell you what, these guys are both 30-year veterans in the industry, but, you know, they're just average people, just like I am, right? Average people that have an above average opportunity put in front of them, and we took advantage of it. You know, this list of income earners is just going to grow and grow and grow and grow. Got plenty of room on there for your name and everybody else's name. So, you know, if you ever wanted to do something spectacular, now's the time to do it. Our product line is expanding and keeps expanding, right? 25 products now, weight loss, energy. I love the coffee. I'm drinking one of these little products here called the Immune Boost right here. Love it. And there's all kinds of products. Instant gratification products. The Instant Youth is an instant gratification product. The coffee is an instant gratification product. There's just no way you can drink that coffee and then, you know, not lose weight or, you know, be hungry. I mean, it works and interacts with your brain. I want you to go to valentusproducts.com and take a look at everything. There's a couple other sites. One of them is fbtestimonials.info, fbtestimonials.info. That's our Facebook page with all of the testimonials. You know, you'll see thousands of all kinds of testimonials. So don't believe me, just go take a look at all of those things. And more products coming, I'm told, and why not? I mean, we've got great products and more great products. But you know what? Those products, I have about 6 products that I love that I would take with an opportunity or without the opportunity. So that's how hooked I am. I'm gonna drink the coffee forever, right? I'll never buy another, you know, coffee of any kind. This is my coffee. We've got all kinds of different ways that you can start in Valentus, but I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna give you a plan. You can join anywhere from $59 to $11.99. A global business. You can start a home-based business, you know, that is global right from the comfort of your living room or extra spare bedroom or a basement, and start building a global business. You could start at $59. If you enrolled somebody and they purchased a business builder pack tomorrow, you would earn 200 bucks, right? So it doesn't matter where you start, it matters where you finish. But if you buy the Ruby pack or the Emerald pack, you max out the payout in the compensation plan. So more on that in just a little bit. So immediate money, we get paid every Friday like clockwork. The company will be 6 years old in July. Dave has paid every Friday, you know, direct deposit right to everybody's bank account, or if you're international, right to a prepaid debit card. So it's awesome, right? Here's a little part of the business that I put in here. I call it the stimulus plan, right? Because here's what happens. You know, you invest $600, you buy a business builder pack, that Ruby pack, you're starting a global business. It's basically $20 for the business, a whole $20, and then some inventory. So $600. You find 3 people that do exactly the same thing. No time limit, you know, it'd be good if you did it tomorrow, but no time limit. That makes you 300 bucks, right? You get 100, 100, 100. When you find 3 more people that do exactly the same thing, you get a raise, right? 3 more people that you personally enroll that do exactly the same thing. The first 3, you made 300. The next 3, you make 600. From that point on, you make $200 for every person that you enroll that buys a business builder pack. But here's what's important. When those second group of 3 go and find their 3, right? They make $100 each. You make $900 or $100 each, right? When those 9 find their 3, that's 27. They made their $100 each. You made 27 times 100 or $2,700. Starting to get the picture here, and that can happen over and over and over and over and over again. So keep finding, you know, 3, 3, 3, and help those 3 get 3. So what I'm about to show you is something that we've taken the compensation plan and we've boiled it down into something that everybody can do and that everybody can understand. Most compensation plans are very difficult to understand, and most companies write them that way to confuse people, right? So we've taken this plan and I focused in on the $600 business builder pack because it maxes out the compensation plan. And that's exactly where you need to be if you want to make any big money, right? You've got to make a commitment to do number 1, buy the business builder package. Do number 2, commit to buying 3 products every month. It's $160 or 100 business volume, which I'll get into later. But commit to buying 3 products. Yes, that money is going to come out of your pocket initially, but in a very short period of time, that money will come out of the earnings. So no big deal, right? You find 1 person that'll do that same thing exactly, right? You find 1 person that'll buy a business builder package that'll commit to buying 3 products every month for the next 12 months, right? 1 person a month, not something that is, I mean, something that everybody can do. So if you can see yourself doing this, by all means, get back with the person that got you to look at this and get started. Let me show you what the plan basically looks like. And I took this, this is a little sheet that the company puts out. And I did that so that you could see the average monthly income of various ranks, right? At diamond, 3,000 to 6,000, double diamond, 7,500 to 12,500. These are monthly incomes. Triple diamond, 15,000 to 30,000 a month. Blue diamond, $33,000 to $75,000 a month. The company knows exactly what people in those ranks are earning, right? So they put out an income disclosure statement, and that's what this is. The plan that I'm going to show you will get you to diamond in 9 months. Not 9 weeks, I'm sorry to say, or 9 days. But, you know, I want to set your expectations, right? 9 months. We're going to do things, you know, over the course of the next 9 months to set you up to do that. Double diamond in 10 months. Not bad, right? Triple diamond in 12 months. A year from today, right? A year from today, May the 18th, 2021. You can be looking back and saying, you know what? I was on that Zoom, on that webinar, and I got started, and it's been a year, and now I'm raking down 18 grand a month, 22,000 a month, whatever the number is, right? And blue diamond in 13 months. So let me show you what this plan actually looks like. It's basically, I'm going to give it to you in little bite-sized pieces. And then those bite-sized pieces are every 2 months, right? This is you, you're over here. You sponsor your good friend Tom, month 1. You sponsor Jim, month 2. They both come in with the Business Builder Pack. They both commit to trying 3 products every month, and they both commit to enrolling 1 person a month, just like you're doing. I want you to look at the team size. I want you to look at this volume number, and I'll explain that in a second. I want you to look at the gross commissions, the purchases. There's your purchase that just happened in May, and then your purchases, your 3 products that you'll purchase in June, right? So here you are, you know, you're now 2 months into the business. You're 560 still in the hole, right? You haven't made much money. You're 4 months into the business. Your group has grown from 1 to 15, right? You've sponsored 4. Your team is now 15. Here's the number that I want you to pay attention to. 7 people making this $160 purchase equates to 700 in business volume. That's where the big money is, guys. This business is all about a lot of people doing a little bit, and that little bit are those 3 product purchases. So this month you made $475. Nothing to write home about, but you made your $160 purchase again, so you're $285 in the hole. Let's look at month 5 and 6. Month 6, right? 63 people. Your group has grown from 15 to 63. You made over $1,000 that month. Again, nothing to get too excited about, except that you can see progression, right? That's what I want you to see is progression, right? Things are happening. You have done what? You've sponsored 6 people into the business. You've found 1 person every month, and Tom has now sponsored 5. Jim has sponsored 4. Mary has sponsored 3, right? Sue has sponsored 2, right? You see how that goes? And then they've sponsored people. Let me show you what happens in month 8. By month 8, your group has grown from 63 to 255. Pretty nice. You've made $4,250 that month. So you're probably equaling or just shy or maybe above that life-sucking job that you don't want to go back to, even if the pandemic does end tomorrow, right? Because it was a job that you hated anyway. And, you know, now you can do something different. You can start to make a decision whether or not you want to do anything. Here's what's happened. You know, that $160 is not an issue anymore, right? Because now you've made $7,400 in 8 months. By the 10th month, your group has grown to over 1,000 people, right? Quadrupled, right? Quadrupled. You made $17,250 in commissions. You've made $32,855 overall in 10 months. But let me show you now, by the 12th month, May of 2021, you're a hero, right? Your spouse is saying, I'm sure glad I talked you into doing that network marketing thing because you're now at 68 grand a month. That's exactly the words my wife said. You know, she ridiculed me to, I mean, it was not pretty, right? My first check in this industry, my monthly check was $43. she was rolling around on the floor hysterical, right? And I wish that I would have made 100. I would have been twice as good. But you know, when I finally got to that big money, and didn't happen for me in a year, right? It took me a longer period of time because I didn't have anybody to teach me, right? I didn't know these things. And so I was just going on, you know, faith. My sponsor quit the week after I got started. And he said, I just can't deal with this. He said, I got a business to run. I go, well, I do too. Thanks for bringing me over there and letting me see this network marketing thing. And now I'm in. And at that time, it wasn't $20 to get started, guys. It was 35 grand, right? I bought $35,000 worth of water filters and had them shipped to my buddy's house. Couldn't have them shipped to my garage because my wife would have just had a fit. But anyway, you know, 68,000. Let me show you what happens month 13th. Stay on the same track, right? Your group has grown from 4,000 to 8,000 people. You made over 100 grand, $136,000, you know, in income that month, right? That month, you've now hit $271,000 in income. You're one of the top 1% of the income earners in the country after 12 months. So this is a plan that everybody can do if you just work the plan, right? So living the dream, right? Whatever that dream is. And if your dream is not to make that kind of money, hey, no problem. If you make that much money, give the rest of it away, right? You know, find somebody to give it to, and but get back to the person that showed you this. And let me very quickly go about, you know, some of the things that I didn't know about when I got started. See, when I got started in 1987, I thought it was all about selling water filters. So I went out and did my best, right? And I failed miserably, as you can tell. And I should have quit. But then I discovered that it wasn't about selling the product. It was about building a team. Remember that those 10 who get 10, who get 10, who get 10, who get 10. Well, once I changed my daily method of operation and I started putting those principles in place, my income started to go up miraculously, right, to the amazement of my wife. But I still stayed, still sharing the products. I didn't care if people bought them or not. Shared the products, shared the opportunity with people. And back then we didn't have Zooms, we didn't have YouTube, we didn't have the internet, right? We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have, I mean, you know, we had a rock and a chisel and or a campfire and smoke signals. It was a long time ago, right? So, but you know, none of this has changed over the course of my career. None of this has actually ever changed. All the fundamentals have been the same. Exponential growth. You saw what happened in that example that I showed you. You sponsored 12 people, your group grew to over 4,000 people. Why? Because of other people's efforts, right? Reoccurring sales, that's that 3 products. You do the work once and you get paid on those products forever because people, once they discover these products, they're gonna stay on them. They're gonna love them, just like I love them, right? Every month, everybody in the team buys 100 BVN products, $160, and everybody gets paid. The last part is the velocity of money, the rate at which money changes hands. And so it really has nothing to do with us finding fat coffee drinkers or people that want to take off the wrinkles on their face. That's all going to come. We're looking for people that want to do one thing. They want an improvement in their life. They want to change their life, right? They want a life experience. So let me show you some things that I wish somebody would have shown me very early on. Secrets, right? These are the secrets. These are the things that people say, well, I know there's got to be more to it than what you're telling me, and there is, right? These are the secrets. Keep it simple. Become a great promoter. I promote, right? That's all I do 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I promote, I text, I email people, I Zoom people, I WhatsApp with people, whatever the communication is, I'm doing those things, right? Staying connected and staying connected with everything that we're doing. You got to learn the business. This is a brand new business. And if you'll take it seriously, if you'll take it, as seriously as any business that will produce $1 million a year income, then you'll have the potential of doing that. So stay focused, right? Stay focused on your goal, whatever that goal happens to be, and be consistent. I told you over the course of the next 12 months, right? We're going to take you from where you are to where you want to go. Stay positive, no matter what. It's a great day. Unfortunately, it's Monday, and most heart attacks happen on a Monday. I don't know how the heart attacks are doing these days since people aren't going back to work. But most people die of a heart attack between 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock in the morning on a Monday because they'd rather have a heart attack than go to work. But since they're not going to work, maybe they're having a heart attack because they're staying home with their spouse. I don't know. It's something. So, hey, the last thing that I'm going to say is never quit, right? I wish that somebody would have told me that when I joined my first company. See, I got cocky and I left that company and so I had to recalibrate, right? Every time I left a company, I had to recalibrate and start building all over again from scratch. The old boy that I worked with in that company is still there. He's made $125 million, probably more than that, but that's what he says, 125 million. That's what the Business for Home magazine says. And, I've made 16 million. And I know I'm smarter than he is. So anyway, if you can do this, you can make a fortune. Call your friends. I'm a big believer in reaching out to your friends. Hey, Bob, this is Chuck. Are you interested in learning how to make money from home? Yes? Great. I'm going to send you a videotape. No, you're not? Okay, see you later. I mean, it's as easy as that. You don't have to go into a lot of explanation. You're looking and you're sorting through the people. Most people know 600 people. That's what the report says, right? 600 people. Go and find the people, send them somebody, a lot of people ask me, well, what do I send them? Send them anything. You can't send the wrong thing to the right person, right? Send them any video. Go to my YouTube channel. Go look at stuff. There's all kinds of stuff up there. John Horenza's got a whole bunch of stuff. Send them John's story, right? 3 minutes, how he went from being a welder at a potato chip factory making $22,000 a year to making $24 million now. I mean, come on, and if they say no, hey, no problem. I'm going to call somebody else, because what I'm looking for is one person, right? I'm looking for one person that wants to go and do this with me. So you're just sorting through people. So my life in network marketing has been a blast. I wish I had it to do all over again. Because I don't know that I would have changed anything, maybe been a little bit more in tune with the time, because I wasted a lot of time. But we had Grand Prix cars. We sponsored, our Indy car. I had 12 homes in 30 years and always had bigger and bigger and bigger houses. Had lots of cars. At last count, it was 35 or 36 cars, but every kind of car imaginable. And then my daughter got us into horses. I thought, well, what a cute little, blonde-haired girl riding a little pony. Isn't that cute? Well, that thing, that cuteness turned into a hobby. And you know what hobbies are, right? They're like owning a boat. Had a couple of those, right? It's a pit that you throw money into. And so, yes, it was a great experience and all of those things. We had hunter jumpers and went to a lot of shows all up and down the East Coast and had to have trucks and trailers. And we live right on the Atlantic Ocean, so we can go down there and visit the Atlantic Ocean. One of the other houses, another house that we had up in on an island right on the beach. This was our backyard right on the Atlantic. And then we had our penthouse in Grand Cayman. You know, guys, I don't care where you're at in your life, you know, you can get started if you want to get started. Valentus is as close to a sure thing, and even more of a sure thing now, 2 years later, than it was when I got started 2 years ago. So yes, it's a journey, a long journey, and some people just don't have the strength, but I'm going to leave you with something, and maybe this will help you get the strength.
You got to have the courage. Do you have the courage to act outwardly on what you see inwardly? Or will you die a dreamer? Will you die on the verge and on the edge and in the land of coulda, woulda, and shoulda? Do you have the courage? I'm going to drop something on you. It takes courage to be successful. It is far easier not to be successful. Misery will always have company. Success breeds contempt. If you don't want to make waves, be mediocre. Be normal and fit in. And if you're more concerned about people than you are God, then neutralize everything He put in you. Just fit in with everybody else. Dress like them, walk like them, act like them, eat like them, go where they go, think like they think, do what they do. And once you've neutralized your uniqueness, you don't need courage. It takes courage to be different. It takes courage to go where you've never gone before. For some of you, it took courage to come to this conference. It takes courage to get you outside of the box. It takes courage to be successful. It takes courage to win. People don't talk about people that don't win. If you win, they're going to talk about you. Do you have the courage to stand there though the storms keep raging and the people get to talking and you stand there and say, I've come too far to turn around? Do you have the courage? I'm going to say something to you. It takes courage to be exceptional. It takes courage to be wise. It takes courage to be rich. It takes courage to be educated. It takes courage to be knowledgeable. Because the moment you do, but you don't talk like you, you don't forgot where you came from. Look at you, it takes courage. And I'm just wondering, in this weak, watered-down, mediocre society that we live in today, in this reality TV world we live in today, I'm wondering if there's anybody left that's got the courage to say, after all I've been through, and all my ancestors have been through, and all my parents have been through, I didn't come through all of that just to fit in with normalcy. I have the courage to go after my dream. Is there a woman left in this entire Coliseum that's got some courage?
Well, guys, if you've got the courage, I want you to get back with the person that invited you over here to watch all of this and get the information and tell them you're ready to get started. So with that, God bless everybody. Stay safe and do what you need to do. But again, social distancing, right? And no kissing masks or anything like that. So with that, adios, guys. Thanks for being here tonight.